Shut up and sit down.
Hey, it's the Deaf Man from Deaf Man Vinyl, here with you to unbox the new Angel's Horn H00501 turntable. Man, that sounds geeky. Well, let's just call this Party in a Box. This is a complete system with turntable and speakers, so I love this thing. We carry a pretty big selection of turntables at Deaf Man Vinyl, and we're always on the lookout for value-priced, feature-rich turntables. So a good quality player at a good price. And so there are a bunch of companies piling into the turntable market these days. Some good, some eh. And Angel's Horn has made me sit up and take notice for a lot of reasons, some of which you're going to see as we unbox. So Angel's Horn is based in China, where pretty much all the stereo gear is made these days. Full disclosure, Angel's Horn gave me this model to review, but I'll tell you the same thing I told them. If this thing is a piece of crap, I'm going to say it. The Deaf Man is not beholden to big turntables. So let's take a look at how this sucker is packaged. Good sturdy box. Got the instructions and our belt. Got a nice quick start manual for ADD people like me that can't read instructions. And again, packed in there, really nice. We've got our speakers on top. So go ahead and pull those out. They're got some nice styrofoam on the ends, so packed in there pretty tight. And then wrapped individually, so nice to see that. And then our turntable is actually in there really nice, as you can see. It's wedged in there with, again, good styrofoam packaging. And first out is our dust cover, a nice clear dust cover. And again, poly bag to keep it from getting scratched. These things can get scratched real easy. And so a nice Angel's Horn logo on there, very, very straightforward. And out comes our turntable. There we go. Again, got end pieces on there, so wedged in really nice. I'm gonna set that up on there for just a second. And at the very bottom is the heaviest piece, which is our platter with the mat. So all in all, packaged in there pretty nice. That always kind of speaks quality to me when it's packed correctly. And everything is polybagged and individually wrapped, which I like. That's on there nice and sturdy. And the only thing to make sure you don't throw away is the counterweight is in there, and that's taped in, which is a nice sign. So we'll pop that out. That is in there nice. So that's your counterweight. Again, everything polybagged separately, packed in there really nice. Let's take a look at this. This is the actual table. And so taped, again, packed in there nicely. I'll take that off carefully. And they've got some foam over the sub platter, which is nice. Some foam underneath it so it's not jiggling. I mean, I always think about this stuff's coming a long way from China in a shipping container. And so it's certainly got to be packed nicely. And again, the tone arm and the cartridge and the stylus, probably the most delicate part of this whole setup, is taped on there, which is nice. And there's also, it looks like, yeah, there's also a stylus protector on there, which is really nice. I'm glad to see that. In fact, I will put that back on just to keep everything cool while we're doing assembly. Wire tie on here, keeping the tone arm on. So yeah, packed really nicely. I appreciate that. And let's see, let's get that tone arm up off there. There you go. So really well packed. Let's start pulling things out. Some things that I'd like as I unpack this is a very solid deck, or a plinth, as the audiophiles will say. So at the heart of any good turntable, you want some mass, some weight, and some heft. This minimizes vibrations, forms a solid base for everything to spin and do its part. Like most decks, this one is made of MDF, medium density fiberboard, with a wood veneer, in this case a walnut veneer. Very, very nice. And by the way, there is nothing wrong with MDF particle board. In fact, I know from my experience woodworking that a full chunk of solid wood is usually not ideal. Solid wood is not always stable, and it can twist and crack, so MDF is the way to go here. And this is no exception. A nice beefy deck. You also want a hefty platter. And this one's got some weight to it. This one's taped in there too, which again, I appreciate that. It's a sign of good packing. This has got a mat with it. So again, to knock down vibrations, you want a hefty platter. And this is a steel platter. So knock down vibrations, but also to keep things spinning at a steady speed. So if you remember your high school physics, an object in motion tends to stay in motion. So you get a heavy platter spinning with some mass behind it, and the inertia tends to keep it spinning at a consistent speed. So this is a solid metal platter, 3.5 pounds. So serious platter. This one's a little different. This is a belt drive turntable. Most belt drive turntables have the belt go around the motor and then around some part of the main platter. This one's a little different. It has a sub platter that the belt is going to go on. In fact, we'll go ahead and do that right now. Take that belt out. I like this belt, a nice wide belt. Obviously, the more surface area of that belt that's making contact with the platter, the better. And so real simple setup. It goes right around the motor, goes right around here. You just want to make sure you don't get any kind of twists or anything in that. And there you go. And that's basically it. I'll spin it a few times to get that belt to set on there. And then you just set the platter right on top of that. And one spins the other. So really nice. Here's the power source. This is a DC powered, so it's got a converter, an AC to DC converter. And we'll go ahead and plug that in just a second. So a couple of things to note. This is a fully manual turntable, so you don't just push a button and it goes. Most higher end turntables are set up that way. The less moving parts, the better, the less fail points. And they actually will spend the money on a better cartridge and tone arm than all the gears and gizmo that go with an automatic turntable. So the only real issue is that when it gets to the end of the record, it does not auto return. So you need to manually raise it with the Q lever. You kind of need to be in the room or know when your record's going to end. Speaking of Q levers, I'm very particular about those. I hate the ones that drop your needle like a rock. And this one is like butter. I absolutely love the way it drops. Very, very nice and slow. So it sets in the grooves nice and easy, a definite plus with me. And this comes with a really nice Audio-Technica AT3600L dual moving magnet cartridge. So solid cartridge. It's also removable with the 2 screws, so you can upgrade if you want to have a better cartridge. Speaking of which, this is a big boy turntable. It doesn't come out of the box ready for plug and play, so you need to make several adjustments just as you would with a high-end turntable. Namely, you'll need to set the stylus pressure or tracking force on this. And recommended tracking force for this particular cartridge is 3.5 grams. And I'm actually going to go just a touch lighter at 3.0 grams. So where did my counterweight go? I'll go ahead and open that up. That's in a little Ziploc bag. Again, nicely packed. I appreciate that. Although it is, there we go. And so your counterweight, and it's got a scale marking grams on there. And literally you just thread her on. And as you go in, you're increasing, clockwise, you're increasing stylus pressure, tracking force. As you come out, counterclockwise, you're lowering it. So I've got a handy little gizmo here for checking stylus pressure. And it's just a little digital scale. There are a number of tools to measure stylus pressure and even a method that you can do to kind of eyeball it. And I hope you'll check out our video on that. Tracking force is a super critical measure, so I would not mess around with that. If you've got the ability to buy one of the tools, that's a good way to go. So to do this, we go ahead and take our stylus gauge off. I've got that set to 0, and I bring it around, and I set it right on the 0, on the dot dropper, and see what we get. And I get nothing because it's so light it's not even dropping. So let's see now.
A few moments later.
3 on the dot. That doesn't always happen with me. So I've got my stylus pressure set, and that's really about it. Attach the belt, set the stylus pressure, and you're ready to go. So some other things. This one has a ground terminal in the back in case you get any kind of hum through your system. You can ground it out through your receiver or your preamp, whatever your setup. This also has a nice feature where it goes into standby mode after 20 minutes, so it's not burning. So let's go ahead and, before we go any further, get this out of the way. This is the clear dust cover. Very nice feature to have. The hinges are already built in, so you're really just kind of sliding that on and dropping it. So this is usually the first thing to get scuffed up on a turntable. So never put anything on top of it. Never clean it with anything alcohol based. It'll instantly kind of white out. So you don't want to do that. Oh, while we're at it, let's go ahead and put the pad on. That goes on your platter. Very nice. And we'll set this off to the side and take a look at these speakers. Hope I'm as happy with these speakers as I am with the turntable. Again, packed up nicely, taped in a poly bag. So same thing, MDF with a walnut veneer. Very nice, very solid. Let's go ahead and open this other one and see what we got. Again, some nice features on this one. The grill, very nice. It is not removable like some speakers. And then it's got the rubber feet for vibration. It's got the nice clips, speaker clips on the back. And this is a nice two-way speaker, meaning it has a tweeter for the highs and a woofer for lows. And the speakers are rated at 36 watt total, and speaker wire is included. So we'll hook everything up in just a second. One of the things I wanted to mention that really caught my eye with Angel's Horn is that they offer a lifetime warranty. So yep, lifetime. And they have an online service channel for quick returns or refunds. So really impressed with that. Most Audio-Technica and a lot of those brands, Crosley, Victrola, it's usually a year. Yeah, so this is real easy to get going. Speaker wire is included. Real easy to plug it into the clips here. Just get your polarity the right way. Red to red, black to black. And it just connects to the back of the unit. So really straightforward. You've got enough, not a ton of room, probably about, I'd say about 4 feet of speaker wire so you can get some spread. Obviously, the more spread you get, the better stereo effect you get, but you certainly can go buy additional speaker wire online or at a local store. And this turntable gives you a lot of flexibility. So like most modern turntables, it has a built-in preamp, which gives you all kinds of options. So you can rock it like this. It sounds perfectly good, lots of volume, lots of bass, and it actually catches the highs really nice. Or you can flip that preamp and run this through a set of powered speakers. If you wanted to upgrade, you could also run it through an old school stereo receiver, through a separate amplifier, a set of speakers. Lots of flexibility with this one, but it really sounds fantastic right out of the box, just as it is, but know that you do have that option. And a really nice feature of this Angel's Horn is that it's Bluetooth enabled. So it has Bluetooth in, so you can connect your phone to your tablet and play it through these speakers. There's also a headphone jack back here. So let's see how it plays. I'd love to be blasting something from Back in Black. In fact, Hell's Bell is my reference song when testing turntables, but of course YouTube will pull the plug on that. So we're gonna play something from my son's band, Mount Anger. Let's see how that sounds. Nice. All right, so we heard Bluetooth. Now let's hear some vinyl. I'll slap this AC/DC on and see how much leeway YouTube gets us. But it's got a great sound. The volume's incredible. Not gonna knock the wall down, but definitely gonna fill a room. So the verdict on this one, 2 thumbs up and a snap, my best rating. This is a well-designed, well-built turntable with solid features, and it's priced to sell. Definitely a sub $300 turntables. I've seen it in the mid 200s. And my new best friends at Angel's Horn hooked me up with a special offer for Deaf Man Vinyl subscribers. Just click the link below and you'll get 15% off your purchase. So none of that goes to the Deaf Man, it goes to you. Just a sweet deal from my friends at Angel's Horn. And again, I can wholeheartedly recommend this. This is a great step-up model if you're listening on, like a Crosley or Victrola suitcase model. This is a good step-up model. This is a great primary. This is great in a rec room, living room. Looks great, sounds great, and priced to sell. So that is it from the Deaf Man for this episode. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure you subscribe. Love to talk stereo gear and records with you, so send us comments. And until next time, keep them spinning.